Others have posted on X to complain that they've paid a lot for tickets, only for the biggest number in the show to happen off stage. It may be drawing huge crowds, but it's also divided opinion with theatregoers. Actress Claire Sweeney saw it last night and told Good Morning Britain she loved it. The show's biggest song is performed by star Rachel Zegler outside the London Palladium and then live-streamed back to the audience inside.
Are disappointed that she hasn't sung it live in the theatre, but I think it's going to be greatly outweighed by...
How did Rachel Zegler go from being Hollywood's next big star to someone studios are reportedly avoiding like the plague? Stick around because the answer is equal parts shocking and facepalm-worthy. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Remember when Rachel Zegler was everywhere being celebrated as Hollywood's next golden girl? After her breakout in West Side Story, critics couldn't stop gushing about her performance. The film shot her into the spotlight, making her a household name seemingly overnight. For a moment, she was the perfect package, young, talented, and poised to become the industry's next big leading lady. The industry saw her as the future, banking on her to headline major projects and bring in audiences. So, how did this seemingly fairy tale rise turn dark so quickly? Enter the Snow White remake.
Do you know those moments in theatre where you go, yeah, I did that in the theatre, and the way it's done is so clever. It goes on to her walking through the...
It may be drawing huge crowds, but it's also divided opinion with theatregoers. Actress Claire Sweeney saw it last night and told Good Morning Britain she loved it. Casa Rosada in Buenos Aires was the site of the original balcony, used with special permission in the film with Madonna.
From the second Disney announced Zegler as the lead, the casting sparked conversations, but not all of them positive. Some criticized the choice for straying from the iconic look of the original animated character, but it was Zegler's own comments that really fanned the flames. She went viral for a series of interviews where she candidly criticized the original film. In what was likely meant to be confident and modern branding for the story, Zegler called Snow White a girl boss dictator and dismissed the original plot's love story, bluntly declaring the prince was nothing more than a stalker. Now, honesty might work in other contexts, but trashing a classic beloved by generations? That's walking into a nostalgia minefield, and she didn't walk out unharmed. Fans quickly rallied against her remarks, flooding social media with their frustration. For many, it felt like she was thumbing her nose at their cherished childhood memories, and that never ends well. Analysts chimed in too, suggesting that comments like these didn't just upset fans, but actively hurt the movie's potential to appeal to its target audience. The industry thrives on sentimentality, and attacking the foundations of a beloved story created immediate backlash. Zegler's public image took a hit almost overnight. Words like arrogant and ungrateful began sticking to her reputation. Instead of being celebrated as a bold new voice, Zegler found herself labeled out of touch, the kind of celebrity audiences love to turn on.
This latest revival nods to the outside setting, but with an experimental London twist. The show's biggest song is performed by star Rachel Zegler outside the London Palladium and then live-streamed back to the audience inside. But it's the balcony grabbing all the attention. Halfway through the latest revival of Evita,
and this wasn't just a brief internet uproar. The backlash around her Snow White comments snowballed, with many blaming her for tanking the film's reception before it even hit theaters. But this wasn't just a PR issue. What happened next showed that this fallout wasn't limited to the internet. Disney took a major hit, a financial one, and Zegler was right at the center of it all. Just wait until you hear how deep the hole got. What happens when a movie tanks so hard it takes $150 million down with it? And when the lead actress becomes a walking PR nightmare, it's not exactly a setup for a happily ever after. That's the story of Disney's Snow White remake, a movie that went from ambitious reimagining to an expensive train wreck faster than you can say, once upon a time. Let's start with the numbers. The movie cost over $200 million to make, plus another $100 million for marketing, yet its opening weekend in the US scraped by with just $43 million. That's not even a crack in the castle walls, let alone a dent in the budget. Things only got worse from there. By the second week, ticket sales dropped a staggering 66%, prompting Disney to quietly pull the movie from prime theater spots. Globally, it wasn't much better. In China, a market where Disney films usually bring in big money, the movie didn't even cross the $1 million mark. Add it all up, and you've got a total loss of around $150 million. Brutal, right? But here's where things start to feel personal.
Something the show's composer has some sympathy for.
I think there will be people who
Others have posted on X to complain that they've paid a lot for tickets, only for the biggest number in the show to happen off stage.
the theatricality of using film in that way are disappointed that she hasn't sung it live in the theatre, but I think it's going to be greatly outweighed by
This flop isn't just chalked up to bad storytelling or marketing decisions. A lot of fingers are pointing directly at Rachel Zegler. Her comments about the original Snow White were plastered all over social media and seemed to sour audiences on the project before it even had a chance. People love nostalgia. So when she slammed the 1937 classic, calling the prince creepy and the love story weird, it sparked a backlash that Disney couldn't afford to ignore. It didn't help that the film replaced the Seven Dwarfs with CGI blobs, a move Disney made after Peter Dinklage's critique of the original portrayal. While meant to look progressive, it backfired big time. Some actors with dwarfism were furious, with one saying, "Peter's rich, we're not." Audiences weren't impressed either, seeing the change as performative rather than meaningful. All this led to Zegler being labeled box office poison, with casting rumors swirling that Hollywood is wary of working with her. Even Disney, it seems, isn't betting on her for another shot, not exactly a dream ending. But hey, at this point, not even Prince Charming could save this sinking ship. Rachel Zegler's situation isn't just a case of career missteps. It's a harsh reminder of how both Hollywood and fans have zero patience for arrogance or what they see as tone-deaf behavior. Her transition from rising star to a cautionary tale shows just how brutal the industry can be when public backlash takes over. With industry insiders labeling her as box office poison, the question isn't whether her career is damaged. It's whether she can fix it at all. Can she bounce back? Or is her Hollywood story already written? One thing's certain, Disney probably wishes they could hit rewind on this one.